Wake up, Atlanta. It's time for coffee. Talk presented by Spotify. Fresh vibes, real talk.
Let's get started, shall we?
Yeah.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, boy howdy. Boy howdy, welcome back to another exciting podcast here today. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Coffee Talk powered and presented by Spotify. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Coffee Talk in the evening. Again, presented by Spotify. Boy howdy, we have a grand slam show for y'all today. I'm very, very excited. I'm highly favored and I am thankful to be back into the limelight of things. If you guys watch, I think the last Coffee Talk in the evening came out this past Saturday, I believe. So hopefully you guys caught it. Officially back into the realm of things of podcasting, and I'm very, very excited for this episode. I'm happy to have everyone that's watching the content, and I just want to say thank y'all for, I think either Sunday or Monday. Hope I think it was Sunday or Saturday night. We published a video reel of the show. I was talking about Skeletor and Halo, the complete involved campaign, and I just want to say thank you guys, because we've got a lot of viewership on that content. A lot of people love my take on the new movie Masters of the Universe. By the way, go check the movie out. It's good. It's available on Prime right now. So I'm very, very thankful for that. I'm thankful for you guys, because you guys are sticking with me, and I try to get around to podcasting and recording as much as I can. Like I say, sometimes I'm going to run into a rut where I don't have the time to do all the recordings that I need to do, but I am very, very thankful to be back here for you guys and to give you guys yet another exciting show. I am blessed and highly favored to do this for you guys as well for a Tuesday night. Happy Tuesday, by the way. It's getting, it was hot this past few days, right? But then today and yesterday it was a little bit cooler. So I just got to say to a lot of people, stay safe. Stay safe. Drink plenty of water. Be in air conditioning when you can. We are in the August season now, and hopefully it gets a little bit cooler when it comes down to the limelight of things, when it comes down to weather. Beautiful weather we had yesterday and today. So I'm not complaining with the sunshine being out, ladies and gentlemen. But I do want to say thank you all so very much for tuning in. We've got a jam-packed show for you guys as well. Again, we actually got a jam-packed week for y'all. Of course, we've got what had happened was me and Evelyn, we're back in the studio to record a new episode for this week, and I'm very, very excited to have her in studio as always, and to record our show. And we got over 2,000 followers when it comes down to that as well. That, let me tell you, I can't express to you guys how thankful I am for our viewership, you guys for watching and enjoying the show. You guys make our shows happen, right? It's you guys that make the show happen, and the viewership is what makes it happen. The followership is what make our content bloom. And over 2,000 followers for what had happened was on Instagram. That's quite amazing. So again, follow our Instagram. It's WHHW Radio 1. Again, that's WHHW Radio 1. That is the official What Had Happened Was podcast Instagram. Over 2 grand, and of course I reached over 2,000 followers myself on my personal Instagram. So even though yes, it's just 2 grand, a lot of people get to their followership, and they've got 3K. Some people got 10K. Some people got 100K. Right? I get it. But I'm proud of my 2,000 followers because I'm doing something right. So, grand week for y'all. New episode of What Had Happened Was. New episode of Ned McCain coming out later this week. And, of course, we're trying to come back and make sure we do Coffee Talk for y'all as well. A little bit of I've got something that I've got to talk about as well. And, it's been a grand Monday yesterday. If you guys know, I posted about it. I posted about going on like so I did a self-care day, right? Typically with all the other businesses that I am associated with, some days we do what's called recess, right? We take time off. When you're working overtime on something, you take the time off and just kind of reflect a little bit. You kind of learn a little bit, and you kind of take the moment to just take a moment to breathe. So I was able to take the Monday to breathe for a little bit, a little cheat code for you guys, because we're pre-recording. But I was able to take the time off. I went to the doctor. Doctor said I'm doing good with my thyroid. If you guys know, I had acute thyroiditis. It's a viral thing that I have inside my throat. He checked me out and said, "Hey, you're doing good, Kennedy. It's not as tender. You just continue to take the medicines that I'm prescribing, so that way it stays clear, and it doesn't have inflammation. So I'm able to speak well, right? I'm able to speak. Still got the lingering cough every now and then, but I'm still able to. I'm still able to function the way I should be functioning. And the medical assistant, she took my blood pressure, and my pressure was pretty good, right? She said it was fantastic. So I was like, well, I do work out, I do keep myself in shape. So, but I posted on Instagram. By the time this episode airs, it's going to be Tuesday night, so it would have been last night. I published something that. I did a self-care day and busy day. Went to the doctor, went to the gym. You guys gonna see it in the video posted I did last night. Went to the gym, went to Pandora, got me some food, and later on that day, yesterday, I was able to go out and see this movie called The Odyssey. Now, I'm not gonna do a review on The Odyssey yet because I'm gonna wait because I got another movie review I want to do first. In a minute, I'm gonna talk about Obsession because that movie's amazing. I'll talk about it in a minute, but I think on any podcast or anything like that, I try to give you topics and things that I want to talk about. And on all of our shows, really, I want to make sure that I give you guys topics of conversations of things that I've experienced in the real life, real world, because that's what makes our show so personable. That's kind of like the direction that we're trying to do with Coffee Talk. Yes, we have game reviews and movie reviews and talkabouts and stuff, but I also, when I'm going through a personal experience, I like to exploit and share that on the show, whether it's this show, Coffee Talk, or Kennedy Lucas Lift Mindset Podcast, because that's just what makes the show so good. And lately, I've been more personable with you guys, and you guys really have been enjoying the show. Now, I've said some things, even on the Kennedy Lucas Lift Mindset Podcast, that one episode that I talked about, of course, I ruffled some feathers. Right. So if I rutted those feathers, I apologize. I know that was a heavy topic. I won't rehash what the topic was. If you know, you know. It really stung some people that I know. So I had to kind of reflect on that and to really reflect. And I'm fine, right? I've been going to church, every Sunday. But this past Sunday, as per usual, the word really got to me. And when they performing a worship service, the worship part of service, the music and the choir, I find myself shedding a tear a lot more at church, and it's not because of sadness, but it's because of joy. And, it's just self-reflecting. And I think I am, now that I'm going through the age of 30, and this is something I told my big sister, Kendria. Shout out to you, Kendria. We went over to my mom's house, and she came over, and we just had a nice chit-chat. And I think I'm starting to understand a lot about myself, but then also I have a lot more things to learn about myself. Right. And I think I'm not going through hardship because everything that I'm going through has been a blessing. And just this past, what was that? Past Saturday, one of my colleagues that I work with on another job position that I won't name, and I did say this on what had happened, was with the other job that I have with the college institution, I got to learn to not mention their name anymore, not because of sadness or because hatred. It's just I don't want to get people confused. They're watching this show and I'm talking about my other sorts of occupation, and people get confused and people might misread or mislead something. So this is just the thing with podcasters and broadcasters and content creators. If you work at another position at another institution, you kind of have to not talk about them a lot on your own content, because again, things could go south. People could mishear something that I say on the show and try to turn it and twist it. So I can't name the institution. I can't talk too much about what's going on with that institution. If you know, you know. But I ran into a colleague of mine and said, I received nothing but great words from my other colleagues about me. Right. Whether it's good news, right? They're happy that I'm a part of the team. They're happy to see me around on campus. So that really warmed my heart. So I only say that to say, I'm not going through hardship. I'm blessed and highly favored that, I'm healthy. My family's healthy. Everybody, my friends are healthy. And shout out to my friends because I'm getting ready to see them on Saturday. We're going to dinner. So it's not me crying at church because I'm going through hardship. This is just a moment of reflection. It's a moment that, hey, I am getting older, right? And it's not something I can say that, oh, I'm getting old, because 30 is young, right? 30 is very, very young, but it is older age, right? And I'm learning a lot about myself. And there's a lot of things, ladies and gentlemen, I'm still learning. There's a lot of things that I still have to learn about myself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. But ever since I've been on my spiritual journey, I learn about what I like. I learn a lot of things that I don't like. Right. I learned to let go of a lot of things. Right. I've had a lot of baggage. I had a lot of anxiety, a lot of PTSD things lingering. And just this few months, I've been able to, for my house example, over at my house, which I won't tell you guys where I live. Right. But at my house, when I first moved in, I had a lot of junk. Right. So I've learned within my places to let go of a lot of useless junk. And now my space has become bigger and less cluttered. Right. And my mind has become clear. Right. And I've learned to let go of those things. Right. I've learned to let go of relationships that wasn't really going nowhere. Right. And I've learned a lot about myself within the last few weeks, even. My likes and dislikes, right? So I only say that to say this. Yesterday, and I think I'm going to start doing this every week, right? This is a mission of mine. I saw on TikTok somebody, I see a lot of people go on what's called self dates. And basically what that is you're going on a date by yourself, right? And I would see it on Spotify, and I've seen it before I went to Cancun, and I was scared to do something by myself. Like, I felt that I needed to always have somebody to do something with. I beat that odds because obviously on my 30th birthday this past May, I was able to go to Cancun by myself, right? And it was a fun trip, very, very fun trip, right? I enjoyed it. And when I told my friends and family members that, hey, I'm doing this solo dolo, this is something I'm doing myself. Of course, I've had a lot of family members, brothers, sisters, and friends to say, will you get lonely? Do you need somebody to go with you so you don't feel lonely? And I told them no, right? I told them no. I was able, let me tell y'all something. I don't want to rehash on Cancun trip because my special is out on audio platforms and YouTube and stuff. You guys can watch the 4-hour long vlog of me in Cancun. And I've learned, and let me tell you, that was the fun thing to do, Hope. Because I don't have to worry about another person. I was not going to be late catching my flight because it was just me. I was only responsible for me. I didn't have to worry about feeding because it was a resort, so it was all inclusive. But checking in, we did have you guys can see, you guys can watch it. I had because I got sent to the wrong resort. So, and the guys that was driving me, the taxi service that was driving me, they only spoke Spanish. So I thought I was going to get stuck. But we found the right place, and obviously, I enjoyed, and it was just a moment of reflection, me eating and enjoying, cheating on my diet a little bit, going to the gym, doing poolside all day, right? That was the moment, right? And I am going to do that again. I'm going to do that again for my 31st birthday. I don't know if it's going to be Cancun this time around. I've got two places in mind. For next year. I'm thinking first Cabo or London. I kind of want to do Cabo because I like tropical. I love the water. I love the beach, and I love resorts. To believe it or not, I really do enjoy resorts, all-inclusive resorts too. So I'm leaning towards Cabo for 31, but then London. I've never been to London, right? So we'll see. I'll let you guys know what I can do. If I do London, there'll be city sightseeing and eating, and maybe there's going to be a gym and a hotel, but they won't have, and they probably will have a pool, but they won't have the tropicalness, right? And it'll be in May. So we'll see. We'll see what I feel when it comes down to my 31st birthday. But I say that to say this. Since going to Cancun by myself, I've learned to do a lot of things myself and not have any remorse about it. And I think what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start going on self dates. Just yet, and then I say that to say this too. Last night, I went to go see The Odyssey by myself. It was a self date. Again, I'm going to review that movie later this week. I'm not ready for the review yet because, again, I'm talking about another movie in this episode. But I've learned to be okay to go on dolo dates, right? And it's not because I'm doing this because I'm lonely, right? I'm doing this because, number one, it's a social experiment for myself. And it is true what I see on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook that when you learn to go on a date by yourself, go out to eat by yourself, go to the movies by yourself, hell, going on out the country by yourself, because I've done that, then you can pretty much do anything, right? You can pretty much do anything and feel comfortable doing it by yourself once you get into that habit, right? And that's something that I think I want to start doing each week. And it's not to say, and I say this because I talk about relationships, I talk about girlfriends and stuff on all of the shows I'm on. It's not to say that, the girlfriend won't come, right? I just think I am on the impression now that I'm on this spiritual journey, I'm learning a lot about myself. I'm doing a lot of deep reflection. And I think I'm cool with doing things by myself, going on a self date. And this is something I was telling Evelyn when we recorded. I said, because we were talking about, hey, Evelyn's sweetheart, she says, hey, have you met anybody from church? Have you met anybody from the gym yet? And I would tell her no. And ladies, I'm not picking on you. I don't think that I'm ready. I don't think I'm ready. I don't think that I'm ready for it, right? I think I need to work on my value a little bit more. And to be honest with you guys, if I'm being transparent on our show, I'm exhausted, right? I'm truly, truly exhausted trying to find somebody that are compatible with me so I can have the thrill of having a girlfriend. I'm tired, right? And that's just how I feel. Evelyn had asked me that. Kendria, my sister, did ask me, have I met anybody from church? And they mean well when they ask these things, right? I don't get mad when they ask me these things. No, they mean well. And I would tell them the same thing, that no, because I'm not really looking for it, right? And I know it sounds funny because I'm a lover at heart. I'm a Taurus bull. I was born in May. Taurus people, we love hard. And trust me, we love hard. I fell in love with a girl that I found out she moved away, right? And I didn't really, and I fumbled that back, but I couldn't really get to know her that much. But I fell for her, right? We love hard for those we really are intrigued for. That's just the Taurus bull in me. That's it. That's my sign, right? But now I'm on that impression that I am just going to take a minute and I'm just going to take a time out, right? I'm going to stop talking about, I'm going to talk about relationships and advice and stuff on the show because it is intriguing to my followers. But I don't want to, I'm not going forth, I'm not going to talk so much about my relationship stories because I have none, right? And my friends joke with me, and it's true, right? Hey, my friends joke with me, and ladies, I'm not calling you bitches. That's not what I'm saying. I can't pull bitches. I can't. I can't pull bitches. And I'm okay with that, right? I'm okay with just being single. Even if I'm single the next 5 years, I've came to terms of that. Not because God doesn't want me to. I've became terms with that because I need to work a little bit more on myself because I still got my moments, right? I got my moments. I got my moments of self-pleasuring. Shout out to, because my sister Deanna called me out on it because she says that I always talk about this kind of thing on the show. She clowns me for it. I still got my moments. Now, I haven't done that in a minute, right? But I got my moments where I slip and fall, right? And I'm just on that good impression that, I think now that I'm 30, and this is not a flex, I'm not bragging, but I'm 30. I sort of got my life together, kind of. I'm not saying, hey, I'm not rich. Far from, because everybody think I'm rich for some reason. I'm not rich, but I kind of have it a little bit together. You know, I've got a nice place. I've got decent jobs that occupy my time, a lot of my time. I'm getting back into podcasting because a lot of people love the shows and like the podcasting style. I am a biker, right? I'm part of a biker, well, not a biker gang, but like I'm trying to get a part of a biker community, which I established so far. We're small, but we're establishing a small biker community out there in the world, right? So I'm doing that as a hobby, as a pastime, and I'm focusing on my gym journey, right? Even though you guys see it, I've been looking really, 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 really good. I want to maintain that, right? And I only say that to say that's why I'm not actively seeking a girlfriend, right? Not because of hatred, not because I'm pissed off about it. No, it's not even about this Generation Z people. I'm over it. Like, I'm not going to say I'm not actively seeking because of this generation, because that's not valid, right? I am no longer seeking it because I'm working on a value. I'm working on my value, my morals, and my abundance. And it's not to say a shame on ladies out there in this world. I will no longer, I've rarely, really, never really shame women, but I don't shame women for that, because we're just a lot of men like me. We just are focused, right? If you guys seen it, I did a gym post yesterday and I'm goofy as hell. I've learned that about myself, that I am a comedian. I'm not Kevin Hart, but I try to be a comedian because I fucking love it. Right? I fucking love being goofy as hell in the gym, dancing, prancing, goofing off in the gym, because that is my happy space. Right? And music too. Music is there too. So I'm learning to be within my skin. And I think lately I've learned to embrace that. And now everybody wants to come and hang out and chill and talk to me, whether it's at the gym or it's on campus, right? At the institution. I can't name name because there's conflict of interest. But even on campus, I'm speaking to everybody. Everybody's wanting to talk to Kennedy, right? Sorry to talk to myself third person, but they want to talk to me about something, right? So that's just where my mind's at. And I know some guys might find it crazy, some girls might find it crazy, but I'm not crazy in this game. So that's where I've been. That's where my focus has been. And, you know, I love it. Now, speaking of crazy, let's talk about it. Oh, we do things live on the show. Hydration. All right, so let's talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so speaking of crazy, boy howdy. Hope. We saw the movie last night. Okay. So me and Hope and producers, we saw, not at my house. Everybody saw the movie in their own homes, but we saw the movie Obsession, right? And I think this is my first thriller horror movie that I've seen in a very long time. Not to say that I can't watch spooky horror movies. There haven't been any good spooky horror movies that I've enjoyed, really. So it's been a meme, right? Indy Narette, if I pronounce her name right. She is one of the main actress that plays Nikki. And I saw the trailer when this movie was first announced. Didn't pay it no mind, but then when I saw on Instagram and TikTok and social media, because everybody's making the meme of her going, no, don't do that, you know. So I saw it on TikTok a lot. And it was from the movie Obsession. So I'm like, okay, what's the hype about this movie? So I gave it a shot, right? And, you know, I watched it the other night. And this movie blew me away. First and foremost, Blumhouse Productions, the Bloom brothers, Blumhouse Productions, they are notorious right now. In the last few years, they've been notorious in making horror movies. Right? That's their shtick. They are not going to produce a comedy movie or superhero movie. Their shtick is the horror genre. So when you have Blumhouse Productions a part of attached to your name in your movies, you know you're gonna make a good ass scary movie. So I saw that and I didn't even know they produced it, but of course they showed their logo. I'm like, oh shit, okay, Blumhouse is producing this movie. This is gonna be good. So basically, and I'm going to refer to the actors by their character names. I do that a lot in my reviews, so that way it's not really confusing. I want to say spoiler alert to a lot of people who haven't seen the movie. The movie is now available on Peacock. So if you got a Peacock subscription, you can watch it on Peacock right now as of we speaking of the show. So spoilers a little bit. I'm not going to tell you too much because I don't want to spoil too much, but I got to do a review of the movie. So after watching the meme, Hope and audience, I was like, okay, let me go see what this movie's about, right? Because everybody's talking about this movie. It's a hit movie. Let me go watch it, right? So I flipped it on and I was blown away. So basically you have the main character, Bear. I'm going to refer to actors and actresses by their character names because it's just easier for me to review. So the character Bear, Bear is this guy who's young. He is trying to navigate life. His grandma had died, right? So he's navigating through the life of him just having the average job at what looked like a music store. It's like their version of Guitar Center. And he's going through it, but he has a crush on, and then by the way, all the friends, rather, they're coworkers. They all work at the same music store. So you've got Bear. I think his best friend's name was Ian, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully I got that right. Nikki and Sarah. So they all work at the music shop. Bear has a crush on Nikki, right? Bear has a crush on Nikki. Sarah likes Bear. But then they can't really express their feelings because Bear is in love with Nikki. So Nikki, at the beginning of this movie, Nikki was cute, right? I get it. Sarah's cute too, but I get the attraction because Nikki, before she went crazy, Nikki was this girl that's trying to figure things out herself. They're all, I want to say they're all in their mid-20s, maybe early 20s, the character style of it. And Nikki was like this cute, spunky, quirky, funny as hell chick, right? So, you know, that's cute, right? And she got that beautiful smile and the eye rolls, and her eyes are just gorgeous. Like her eyes are very infectious in a good way. Like, and you could really get drawn into a girl like Nikki before she went crazy, right? If I knew somebody that has the mannerisms and the looks and the attitude like Nikki before she went crazy, then I would like her too, right? Because I like the quirkiness, the funniness, right? The goofy, and that's what Nikki was. Sarah, her character was really more relaxed, kind of serious, but kind of relaxed, chill, not doing too much. That was Sarah. So after they went to the bar, they didn't want to do karaoke, and Nikki was like, hey, I'm tired, I'm ready to go home. At that scene, she asked their friends for $20 to give to a homeless person that was there. So she's a sweetheart, right? So again, as they are rolling through, they didn't want to go out to karaoke. Nikki wanted to go home, and Bear, let me tell you, Bear loves Nikki. And I get it because I fell into that trap too. Like when you like a girl, when you really, 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 really like a girl and you really want to date her and you really want to get to know her, but you're shy. You don't know if you're going to have rejection. You don't know if she's going to like you back. You don't know if that might ruin the friendship. I get it. I've been in Bear's shoes. So Nikki, Ian and Sarah, they go to karaoke. Nikki wanted to go home, and Bear said, "No, I'm not going. I can take you home, Nikki, if you like." Right? So before that scene happened, Bear came home, and his cat Sandy died because the cat Sandy has been in his grandma's old prescriptions that killed the cat. Right, so that's the first jump scare of the beginning of the movie, right? And we know Nikki didn't do that yet, but Sandy, the cat, died because it's been in some pills that the cat shouldn't have ate, right? So Bear goes out to the bar. Fast forward to that because he's been sad about his cat dying. His cat died, his grandma died. He's on the phone with Nikki, and Nikki was like, "Hey, you coming out tonight?" At first he wasn't, but then he did, and then now Nikki and Sarah and Ian found out that the cat died. So of course now Bear takes Nikki home. Right before that though, Nikki's charm bracelet broke and fell down the drain. Bear went to a shop to get her a charm necklace, but ended up getting a Make-A-Wish thing, right? One Wish wood stick, right? Where you get the stick, you break the wood, and your dreams come. You say what you want on your wish, and dreams come true, right? So now I'm fast forwarding when Bear drives Nikki home. Of course, Nikki's cool, collected. Hey, I'm going to bed. We got a long day tomorrow. She leaves she left the car. And then as he's leaving, and it was cute too, because he rolled down the window and said, "Hey, you remember when me and you were in Mrs. Smith's class and you did this and that and the third?" He wanted to talk to her more. But Nikki was like, "No, I'm going to bed." So he takes the stick and he says, "Man, I wish Nikki Freeman was in love with me." Breaks the stick. He did it just because he was going to give that to Nikki, but he ended up using it and nothing happens, or so we thought. So then the camera pans up. Nikki is just like standing there by her door. I was like, and then when that happened, I was like, oh shit, that worked. So Nikki comes down. Nikki starts acting weird now. That's the crazy kookiness of it now. Nikki is acting weird. She falls in love with Bear. She's crazy now. She's crying, and she didn't want to stay at her house. She said that her dad was dying of cancer, so they went back to Bear's house. And let me tell you, Nikki was sad, and girls do that when they sad. They want to be with the guy that they now love, and just they need some comfort, right? So then at that moment, she's just like, "Can I sleep in the bed? Can you sleep with me? I'm going to be in my head. I don't want to be sleeping alone." And then at that point, I was like, "Hell yeah, let me sleep with you." So she takes off her shirt, and Bear's just like, he don't know what to do. I'm like, "Come on, man, just be cool with it." That's what I kept saying. I was like, be cool, chill, be cool. Don't be creepy about it. Be cool. It's just a bra. So they ended up sleeping together. And then, of course, the cute part of it, they did a montage of Nikki and Bear just falling in love, and they become boyfriend and girlfriend. Here's where it starts to turn, though. Where it starts to turn, the first kiss that they made out for a minute, and then she stopped and was screaming. And it was valid, because when look, I would be freaked out too if I'm interested in a girl and we kissing and she stops, pushes me away, and screams. You would think that I'm trying to do something that I shouldn't be doing to her, right? Y'all know what I mean. So I'm like, okay, that's a little weird. But we gonna brush past in the movie. They brushed past it, and then they did this montage where they fall in love, and now Nikki becomes obsessed. She quit her job. She is wanting to be with Bear 24/7. And here's where the weird shit started going, right? She started acting weird. There was one scene in the movie where, Bear is asleep. Nikki is not in the bed with her. Bear wakes up and like, "Hey, where Nikki, where you at?" Turns out she was in a corner somewhere. She was in the corner of the room just chilling. And then she would do like this creepy walk. I'm like, "Oh shit. Like, what is she doing?" She was just being so weird and started screaming, claiming that Bear doesn't love her anymore. And of course, she kept doing like this, just hiding in the corner, creepily watching Bear sleep. And then she goes and get a big thing, a vase with flowers, walks around and just kind of like stands still for a minute. And Bear's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like, just acting weird, just weird shit. And of course, she was sad, but now she's happy, and now she's sleeping again in the bed. And now Bear wakes up, freaked out, said, "Hey, we can't do that no more," right? And there was this one scene in the movie where she dug up Sandy, the dead cat, and built a small memorial of the cat right in dab in the living room where Bear can see, and Bear freaked the fuck out, right? I would have freaked out too. So then, fast forward in the movie, Bear wakes up. Nikki's on the couch. Just say, hey, can we talk about what happened last night? You creeping around in the corner of the bedroom, not sleeping. You're like, what? Don't do that. So she packs her lunch. Nikki packs Bear's lunch. And, he's like, hey, it's all right. No worries. It was weird, but, we're going to brush past that. So he goes to leave. This lady, Nikki, duct taped the front door heavily and couldn't get the door open. Boy, howdy. If a girl came over to my house and I wake up to leave the house for work and my front door is duct taped because she did it, I would have been freaked out again. Freaked out. So Bear leaves for work. The scene in there, hey, Bear, hey, Nikki's acting crazy. I don't know what it is. He eats a sandwich that Nikki packed. Turns out it was cat meat. Nikki cooked pieces of Sandy, the cat, and put it on some bread, and Bear ate it. Of course, he threw up a lot because, hey, that was his cat he was eating because Nikki cooked the cat up. So, very, very weird behavior when it comes down to it. The next thing is, Ian invited Bear to an all-boys hangout shindig, and Nikki wasn't having it. Nikki wanted to go. Sarah came, and they started to play this Jenga, drunken Jenga game where you pull the block from the Jenga, and then you read what was on it. And, of course, Nikki started acting weird. She kept beating herself up. And there was this one thing, when Bear pulled the Jenga and said, hey, kiss the girl to your left, and on Bear's left, it was Sarah. And Nikki was like, oh, hell no. So she goes around behind Sarah, and I thought that was going to be it. She pulls Sarah's chair back, and now Nikki got in front, and then they kissed. And she said, hey, this is my Bear. This is my man. Right? And then she started screaming, freaking the fuck out, tripping over. She took a block, and she kept hitting herself. Right? Weird shit, right? Weird. So, after that, they go to sleep. Bear at this point is freaked out. Sarah says, hey, can you meet me at the park? Oh, you can't meet me at the park? I'm going to meet to you, right? So Sarah comes up to Bear's house. Bear gets in Sarah's car. Sarah and Bear's having a moment, right? She got her official offer letter from Luther University for the arts. And, the one thing they messed up with that, though, I would have left. I wouldn't have not stayed in the driveway where Nikki can just come out and creepy crawl out and be creepy again, right? I would have said, Bear, get in the car and leave. Go somewhere else. So they're talking, they're chit-chatting. Nikki comes out of nowhere, breaks the window, has a brick on the steering wheel, and smashes Sarah's head repeatedly, deforming her whole face. Sarah was beautiful. And now, her eye was popped out, and it was just, her face was not her face, right? So towards the end of the movie, of course, some bad shit is happening, right? Bear goes back to the store to get another Make-A-Wish wood thing to have his friend Ian wish that Bear never met Nikki. And Ian said, he didn't believe it at first, so he took the wood and said, hey, I wish I had $1 billion. He snapped the wood, whole bunch of money fell. So he was like, oh shit, that really worked. So Bear leaves to go back to his house. He catches the house is a mess. Nikki's been shitting all over the place. She looks creepy. She got scars and lettering and blood everywhere. She's like Bloody Mary at this point. And now in the corner, guess who's in the corner? Just sitting there dead. Sarah. Sarah's in the corner on a chair, fully naked, by the way. Her tatas, her punanas out. Her face is deformed. She's out there showcasing Sarah's dead corpse. And of course, Ian knocks on the door. He hears commotion. Say, hey, come on, bro. We got $1 billion. She comes in. And that was the part where Ian's fault. He came in the house. Nikki had a gun. Nikki said, pop. Ian would never see that $1 billion, right? That was it. And towards the end, he had to comfort Nikki. He went to the bathroom. And the only way to wish this thing in non-existence is Ian had to kill himself. So he overdosed on grandma's pills and, he died. He overdosed, he died, and Nikki stepped back out of it like her normal self. And she's like, what did I do? And that ends the movie. Good movie. That movie's gonna make you say, what the fuck? But it is a good movie. I recommend people watch it. It is available on Peacock. It's one of those ones that you really want to enjoy. You're really gonna enjoy it. You're really gonna watch it, and it's a good one. I get why the movie was good. Oh, we did see the the meme of again, it's a meme on social media now. But one scene in the movie was when Nikki and Bear go on a date, and Ian calls Bear to confirm that Nikki's dad didn't have cancer, right? Nikki's dad's healthy as a whistle, right? So Bear goes to confront Nikki and say, "Hey, do your dad really has cancer?" And she, smiled. She was confused, and then that's when the no, don't do that. And then that to see that in the movie, that's pretty cool. But I've seen it, so I knew what was coming next because everybody made memes and stuff about it. Like I say, every actress and actor in this movie was good. Indy Narette, if I pronounce her name right, the girl that plays Nikki, she has a wide range of acting. Not just physically, but she can do all kinds of kooky voices too. Because you're going to hear the range of her voice work in this movie is amazing. So I would not be surprised if she goes into the voice acting sector. I think she could be a fantastic voice actor because she has such a wide range of different voices that she did in this movie that I can see it in animated movies, right? But to all the cast and crew of Obsession, good movie. It's a horror movie, but it's not like you get a jump scare every minute. It's just a horror sci-fi thriller, right? So it's really, really good. Blumhouse Productions, they did something right with that movie. So there you have it. Obsession, available now on Peacock. Now I'm going to turn it over to Marcus and Emma, and then I'll come back to wrap the show. So stay tuned.
Hey, Emma. Great to have you back. Got some pretty exciting news from the gaming world we just have to dive into today.
Oh, hey, Marcus. Always a pleasure. What's got you all hyped up this week? I'm ready, I think. Well, it's about Sword Art Online. The franchise is officially making a big comeback, and honestly, the fans are buzzing. There's new content dropping this winter, and it's pretty significant.
Sword Art Online? Wow, okay, that's huge. I remember playing Echoes of Aincrad when it first came out, on my PS5. It got like a 64 Metascore, if I recall. So a return, you say. What's actually coming back?
Right, so it's actually a substantial expansion for Echoes of Aincrad. Bandai Namco confirmed it's coming winter 2026 with a placeholder date of December 31st. It's going to introduce a completely new side story set in Aincrad with new companions and even stronger enemies.
Oh, a new side story. That's really cool. Because, the base game, it only really explored 2 floors, right? So it's safe to assume this expansion will finally open up some new ones, or maybe even mini floors. That'd be super neat for sure.
Absolutely, Emma. That's the general expectation. Given how much of Aincrad is still, unexplored in that specific title, expanding on the dungeon crawling aspect seems like a natural fit. Players really want more of that vertical progression, I think.
It's kind of interesting, though. Bandai Namco has been really quiet about this DLC, haven't they? They announced all these other big titles for Gamescom and Tokyo Game Show, but SAO was conspicuously absent from that lineup. Why do you think that is?
Yeah, it is a bit of a head-scratcher. They've confirmed floor appearances for Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3, Ace Combat 8, One Piece Grand Gourmet, and even Tales of Eternia Remastered. Maybe they're planning a surprise announcement, a dedicated stream, or perhaps they just want to build anticipation. And don't forget, the Sword Art Online the movie Integral Domain is slated for 2028, with an original story by Reki Kawahata himself. So the IP is really, thriving.
Wow, okay, a movie too? That's a lot on the horizon for SAO. But speaking of big names in gaming, I saw some fascinating numbers from Square Enix's recent financial report. Did you catch that?
Oh, absolutely. Square Enix's Q1 2027, right? They revealed something pretty astonishing about their sales breakdown. We've known digital is growing, but this is a statement.
Totally. They sold 7.38 million units, but get this, Marcus, 6.65 million of those were digital downloads. Only 0.73 million were physical copies. That's like a 90% digital, 10% physical split. That's just wild, isn't it? I wasn't expecting it to be that high.
It really is, Emma. It confirms what many in the industry have been seeing, but Square Enix has just put a really stark number to it. And it gets even more interesting. They classify games sold via the Switch 2's Game Key card format as digital sales, So even Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth ports on Switch 2 contribute to that digital lead.
Oh, that makes sense. So, like, those cards are basically just a code in a box, right? That's not really physical in the traditional sense. It's almost like a hybrid. Does this mean physical game collecting is just going to be a niche thing eventually?
It definitely points that way. While physical copies will probably always exist for collectors, the convenience and, frankly, the lower distribution costs for publishers mean digital is really where the industry's heading.
Beyond just the physical versus digital split, Square Enix saw a big boost in their MMO division. Their net sales jumped from 9.6 billion yen to 12.7 billion year on year. And that's mostly because of the Final Fantasy XIV Evercode expansion reveal, even though it's not out until January 2027. People are pre-ordering, getting ready.
Wow, that's some serious hype. So, like, the announcement alone is driving huge engagement, even a year out? That's pretty telling. And what about their other big HD titles? I heard about Final Fantasy VII Revelation and Kingdom Hearts 4.
Spot on, the HD games lineup also saw fantastic year-on-year increases. Net sales for those went from 8.9 billion to a whopping 17.7 billion yen. And operating income, it jumped from 5.1 billion to 6.1 billion yen. A lot of that was driven by new releases like The Adventures of Elliot and pre-orders for Kingdom Hearts Collection and Final Fantasy Resonance. It's a strong quarter all around.
So, to recap, Marcus, we're seeing Sword Art Online come back with new DLC, keeping that franchise alive and well. And then Square Enix is just absolutely crushing it with digital sales, almost a 90-10 split over physical copies, which is, incredible. It really paints a picture of where gaming is headed, doesn't it?
It really does, Emma. It's a testament to the power of ongoing content, like the SAO DLC and FF14 Evercode, and the undeniable shift towards digital distribution. It means easier access for players, and for developers, well, potentially higher profit margins and direct engagement. It's an exciting, if sometimes a little overwhelming, time to be a gamer.
Absolutely. More content, more digital convenience. I just hope there's still room for those of us who, love a good physical box on the shelf. Thanks for breaking all that down, Marcus.
Anytime, Emma. It's always a pleasure chatting with you.
And that will complete the show, ladies and gentlemen. We hope that you guys enjoy Coffee Talk in the evening for this Tuesday night. We hope that everyone has a great, fantastic rest of your week. Stay tuned for K.L.P. Entertainment Filmworks because we got a lot of content coming out for social media, YouTube, and all audio platforms you get your podcast from. So stay tuned, stay up to date because we are uploading as quickly and as swiftly as we can. Well, we are uploading content for you guys to enjoy. This has been the Coffee Talk presented by Spotify. We love you guys, and we'll catch y'all in the next episode. Until then, stay swanky. Peace.
We bringin' good energy.
This has been Coffee Talk presented by Spotify. From our cast, we thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Made it.